Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Allie. Today is my Valentine's Day vlog. I have some books that I want to read this week that I haven't really been able to find time to, or I think that they would just be perfect for this time of the year. Books that I can kind of just put together for a Valentine's Day theme, but it is going to be for the week of Valentine's, and I just kind of want to take you guys along with me because I want to work on some projects this week. We have other Valentine's Day things to do, with the boys. They're going to be making boxes this year again, and of course they're Valentine's Day cards and stuff. So yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty busy week, but I realized I haven't done my Ipsy for you guys this month, and I decided I'm just going to throw it in a vlog. I did create this look earlier while I was talking about my current read, or the book I finished today, so stay tuned. But I decided to do things a little differently this month. I thought I could unbox my Ipsy now, so it's at the beginning of the video if that's just what you're here for. But if you stay, I'm going to vlog the rest of this week. It's going to be very bookish, very Valentine's Day, but I'm also going to be creating more looks with my Ipsy products. So today I created a look with just my Boxycharm box, so I'm going to unbox it first. If we like this style better, I will probably stick with this because I feel like it'll be something fun and interesting to throw into some of my vlogs each month. But I do have the Ipsy Glam Bag, the Boxycharm box, and the Icon box this month, all through Ipsy. They sent it over to me. I am very appreciative of that. So I am gifted, but it's not sponsored or anything like that. I do have an affiliate link down below if you are checking out one of these subscriptions and you use it. I appreciate it, but I'm just excited to share these and show you guys what I got every month and create looks. And I think this year I'm going to do 3 different looks. I think I'm going to do a look with each of these throughout this week's vlog, and I will be posting these looks on my Instagram as well. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start with the Boxycharm box because it is what is currently on my face today. I love how the look turned out. I think it's so pretty. I also have my clay earrings from last year, my X and O, going on just to kind of fit the vibe. The Boxycharm is Ipsy's middle tier, and it is $30 a month. It's 5 full-size beauty products. Subscribers get to choose 3 of them, and it has a value up to $200. The first product I got is the Silky Hair Serum Repair Therapy. So this is a serum that I believe you put in your hair when it's damp, and it's supposed to help repair, I think, I'm sure split ends, reduces frizz, all of that good stuff. Also helps protect against breakage from heat styling, and it's for all hair types. I am going to speed run these for the most part because this is part of a vlog. It's not going to be as casual, I guess, as it normally is. Then I have a couple skincare products. This is the Malin and Goats. I don't know. I feel like I can never pronounce this or never know how it is actually pronounced. But this is the Recovery Treatment Oil. It is a fast-absorbing treatment. It's a blend of 9 antioxidants that will hydrate and help address the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Then we have Dallas & James Skincare Co. Watermelon Dream Clarity Serum, Decongest Pores Balance Oil, and Boost Barrier for glowing skin. I do have both of those on today, and I love the way my skin was looking after using them. And then on my eyes today, I got a new palette from Ace Beauty. This is their Mystic Romance. I feel like they always have such beautiful Valentine's Day palettes, and I absolutely love this. We have so many mattes going on too. It's just beautiful. I think I described it as just a very sultry Valentine's palette, and I love everything going on here. I love the moody tones so much. Their formula is really nice too. It's super blendable, and the metallics are so creamy. And then MAC Mascara. Loving this package. The color, the flat handle made application really easy. Now, I did use this by itself today, thinking that it was just a regular mascara, but I am now seeing that this is like a mascara dry shampoo. And I was wondering, because as I was filming it, I was like, my lashes don't look bad, but they don't look like incredible either. It wasn't like wowing me or blowing me away. And now I realize why. So this is supposed to be like a hit refresh like throughout your day, which is very interesting. A new concept, at least. So you're supposed to wear your mascara first and then apply this on top, and you can kind of see like the difference between just regular mascara and then having the lash dry shampoo on as well. Very interesting concept. I need to retry this and actually like do it the correct way, but this is what it looks like by itself without mascara underneath. And I'm just gonna rock it today. But I did like the wand. I liked how it applied and all of that, but now I'm like really intrigued. I'm gonna have to film like a TikTok or something with this, trying it out to see how it works and the results. But that is the Boxycharm box, and it's on my face today. Also, the theme is it's a self-love affair. Super cute. Just like the past couple of months, it's been giving us some tips and stuff. The reason why I ultimately decided to do this was because I got an eyeshadow palette with each one of my subscriptions, each of these 3 tiers this month. So I was like, I'm just gonna do Valentine's Day themed looks for the month and be able to use each palette for 3 different looks. So next I'm gonna jump into the Ipsy Glam Bag. This is the bag this month. It is very texturized. I really like it, and I do like the little heart tag. Very Valentine's Day themed. So the Glam Bag is 5 deluxe sample size. Sometimes you'll get a full size product, but a lot of the time they're just deluxe samples. Subscribers get to choose 1 product up to $70 in value, and it's $14 a month. So it's their smallest tier. I have a Celebrate Diversity matte lipstick from Real Her. This is a deluxe sample size. I got the shade, oh, it's called Celebrate Diversity, and it's a mauve because I think mauve is one of the most flattering shades like on everybody. And it looks like this. I will be using these products in a look sometime this week in this vlog. The Dr. Brandt eye cream. I don't know if I've tried this one, but I think I've tried an eye cream from Dr. Brandt before in the past and really liked it. Mo Beauty Set It Up Setting Spray. I don't think I've ever tried this brand, but that's really cool. Feel. Oh, I've been loving this skincare brand lately. This is their probiotic moisturizer. Protects skin, reduces fine lines, and increases skin elasticity. And lastly is the eyeshadow palette. It is from Pear Nova, and it's giving like M Cosmetics back whenever M Cosmetics like first was a brand. She had these round palettes with round pans like this. It's just reminding me of that. But I do think that this is a fun color story. The yellow is really intriguing to me, and I like how it's kind of like a mustard yellow. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a look with this and these other products, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably try to do one on like Valentine's Day and then one later on in the week, another one. That is the Glam Bag. And now onto the Icon box. This month it is in collab with Gwen Stefani. The Icon box is there every 3 month. This subscription is available, and it is, so it's quarterly. A lot of the time it's a collab with a celebrity where they get to help pick out what products they put in their box. Like I mentioned, with it being Gwen Stefani's month. It is 8 celeb curated full-size products. It's worth up to $350, and then like I said, it's quarterly, and it's $60. The first thing that I'm super excited about in this drawstring bag is not only an Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, which I love this product. I already have one open that I've been using, but it's just a brow styling wax that's clear. I really, really love it. But I also have the applicator, and I don't have this. This is a dual-sided brow applicator. It has like a spoolie on one end, and then it has like this flat end on the other that helps you like almost give you like the laminated brow look. Super stoked about this. Really good products to get. The palette in this box is from Dominique Cosmetics. It is her Essentials palette, which I don't have. I have some of her other ones, but it looks like this. It's very sleek and very neutral. I feel like this is going to be my like smoky glam moment for Valentine's Day. Really big pan size too. I've loved her formula in the past, so I'm sure I'll love this. Then we have Cara Moon Silky Rinse Gentle Hydrating Facial Cleanser. Ooh, I've seen this brand and I've heard really good things about it, so the packaging is really cute. I love all the different red and white and stuff going on. Ooh, really interesting packaging. I'm really excited to try this out. Then we have the Boxycharm Heat Protection Hair Cream. Drunk Elephant. This is the Wonder Wild Miracle Butter. And in the past, I've had to be very picky about Drunk Elephant products because some of their products have broken me out. So I will try this out, but I will have to kind of do like trial run with it to see how it does with my skin. A product from KVD Beauty. This is the full sleeve long and defined tubing mascara. Oh, okay, cool. It's just in black. Oh, I love the packaging. Gwen Stefani's beauty brand, which is really cool to get. I love that there's also two in the box. This is the lip liner, I believe. Yeah, Line It Up. Oh no, it's an eyeliner. Line It Up 24-hour gel pencil eyeliner in the shade Bath Water. It is this fun, bright blue moment. I will have to incorporate that into a smoky eye. Super excited to get one of her lip products. This is her I'm Still Here lightweight long wear matte liquid lipstick in the shade Flannel, and it's a really pretty shade. I don't think it's going to go very well with blue eyeliner, but we'll see. We'll just have to like play it up. It'll be, I think, still a really cool look. So many great products in this. I'm really impressed with all three of these this month. I'm super excited to do 3 different looks for these boxes too. And you guys will have to let me know what you got. I will have all the details down below in the description. And now I'm gonna go back to whenever I was using the products in my Boxycharm and trying them out and take you guys along with me. Okay, so I think I've decided on my Boxycharm box to get ready with today. I'm kind of wanting to play with the colors in the Ace Beauté palette. They are so pretty, very sultry, and I think will make a really pretty Valentine's Day look. I do have some other like skincare type products that I kind of want to get into first. Well, this one is a hair serum, so unfortunately I'm not going to try this out today. But there is these two. This one's a serum and then this one is a face oil, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the serum from Dallas & James Watermelon Dream Clarity Serum. It has like little gold flakes in it. Lucy Hart knows better than anyone what it's like to grow up without parents who loved her. In a childhood marked by neglect and loneliness, Lucy found her solace in books, namely the Clock Island series by Jack Masterson. Now a 26-year-old teacher's aide, Lucy is able to share her love of reading with bright young students, especially 7-year-old orphan Christopher Lamb. Lucy would give anything to adopt Christopher, but even the idea of becoming a family seems like an impossible dream without proper funds and stability. Just when Lucy is about to give up, Jack Masterson announces he's finally written a new book. Even better, he's holding a contest at his home on the real Clock Island, and Lucy is one of the 4 lucky contestants chosen to compete to win the one and only copy. For Lucy, the chance of winning the most sought-after book in the world means everything to her and Christopher. But first she must contend with ruthless book collectors, wily opponents, and the distractingly handsome and grumpy Hugo Reese, the illustrator of the Clock Island books. Meanwhile, Jack the Mastermind, Masterson, is putting the ultimate twist ending that could change all their lives forever. All right, the last two items are both for my eyes. The palette, which I think I'm wanting to lean more towards a pinky moment. Although this fog shade looks really pretty, and I think combined with Starry, that would be really pretty. So I might do that. And then a new mascara from MAC that I'm excited to try out. So I'm starting with Sacred, and I'm going to put this in my crease and kind of just start this as a base shade. So today I completed the Wishing Game by Meg Shaffer. This has been a TBR contender for quite a while for me. I fell in love with the cover. I mean, it's just so stunning. I absolutely loved it, and I was kind of going through my beginning stages of stumbling into fantasy whenever I seen this cover and was like, oh my gosh, I need to read that book. I had never read anything from Meg Shaffer before, so going into it kind of blindly, synopsis-wise and author-wise, on how things would be written. I'm now going into Fog. I'm going to focus this on the outer corner and then blend it into the crease. I really didn't know what to expect with this one for sure, but I still had pretty high hopes for it. And then I checked it out from my library. I didn't get to it. It just didn't really align with anything that I currently had going on. And then I ended up rechecking it out because I was like, I really want to read this book. And it still didn't really align with anything. And so I started reading a little bit of the synopsis, and I'm not gonna lie, I got a little turned away from it because I was like, I don't know if this really sounds like a book that I'm gonna get much out of. And then a couple people that I follow were highly suggesting reading this book and saying like it is so, so good. Not one to just skip on. So I thought, why not? Let's just try it out. And then I seen that there's supposed to be a little bit of a romance to it, so I wanted to slot it into this video. A main character who's really went through it with her childhood. She had a sister who was like chronically ill, always sick, and in and out of the hospital all the time, and it was kind of just like she was the second baby that came along and was supposed to like, I don't know, like fill that void or whatever, but it ended up being the opposite. Like the parents did everything for the child who was sick all the time, and then she was just kind of just left there until eventually, because of the like autoimmune disease her sister had, like she had to move in with her like grandparent to stay there and live, and wasn't even able to like live with her parents and her sister. So we kind of get the gist that she didn't really have like a great childhood, and then it kind of turns into the type of book where now in the future she is wanting to adopt this boy that goes to the school that she is a teacher's aide at. So it definitely is one of those books where I'm not trying to be harsh, but it is a little cliche of, you know, her having a bad childhood, so now she wants to give this child who's had a rough childhood already a new, fresh start and be his mom. She's struggling because she's not making enough money to be a stable environment for him and to afford, you know, things for him. And then we have the whole Clock Island or whatever, Jack, I think was his name, Jack Masterson, who wrote all these children's books that she loved growing up and then just stopped, like full hiatus, and then all of a sudden now he's going to bring out a new book, and people have the, you know, potential to win their very own copy of it, but like that's the only copy. So then they can decide if they want to sell it to a publisher and have tons of money, hence her being able to adopt and have a stable environment for this little boy, or just keep it as the one and only. She is one of the few selected and gets to go to the island where she meets the illustrator who she kind of starts having a little bit of this like chemistry with, and things from the past are brought up and the reasons why she was one of the contestants that got to go to the island, and they have to play these different games to rack up points to see who is going to win. that's all I really want to tell you guys from the actual like book itself. I'm going to go into this like rose shade now. It's called Rose, and I'm going to put this shade on the inner part, almost forming like a halo eye with these two shades, and then I'm going to take Starry all over the lid. What I can say about this is that it's a sort of unique story in its way. I also really love how much it touched on the adoption process, because even the beginning process of that, of getting all the paperwork and everything done and just playing phone tag and just how hard they really make things. I feel like I could resonate with that a lot, with how the process was for the girl in the book. But I really liked how they highlighted it and how it was, how she was kind of like treated by the caseworker. And this is not a stab at, you know, anything like that, but it is, they make it way, way too hard for good people to be able to adopt children in need. And it's just, it's a super sad topic. And it was something that I kind of appreciated having in a book like this, but it did make me sad at the same time, obviously. I also really enjoyed the games on the island. I thought that was like a nice little touch to this book. A cool concept. I loved the island in general, how it literally is set up like a clock. So whenever you say, like, you know, let's say 2 o'clock, then you know that you need to go to tide pool at 2. It's really cool concept. But with that, what I will say is that I kind of just wish that the author, I don't know, I don't really know how to critique this one, because I don't think it was a bad book. I think it was cute for what it was, but I just felt like everything was very cliche, and I kind of would have liked a little bit more conflict, in a sense that it wasn't just like conflict that wasn't that interesting to me, I guess. Like, I just feel like it could have just been a lot better. Like, the potential was really there for it. This is the MAC mascara that I'm going to try out. The wand is really different. I think it's just regular bristles, but the shape of it is very different. I love this packaging too, the color and stuff. I think when it comes down to it, the characters just didn't really do it for me. I didn't really connect with anybody that much besides the author, Jack. I kind of enjoyed his character a little bit. And I felt like the whole plot and storyline of that would have really made sense for me without the beginning aspects. Like, I feel like this could have been 2 different books, because the mesh together was just very weird to me. And I feel like it just made the book plot, as it evolves into just something that was like, it's just too easy. Everything was just too easy. It was just like, I feel like you can't even say it was predictable, because it was literally just like, know from the start exactly what's going to happen. I mean, it's that predictable. It's not just oh, this may be a predictable book for you. No, all the way through, you're just like, yep, and then this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And whenever they don't add any more extra conflict, or even the resolution was just like, really? Like, I don't know. I mean, we're all wanting them to have happy ever after. We're wanting them to, you know, we're rooting for them, but at the same time, yeah, it was just too easy. I think that is my biggest complaint. It was just all the way through, it was just too easy. You felt for her at times because of her struggles and stuff, but it was, I don't know, just the way that it was set up was just like, maybe I've just been reading too much like darker stuff, and I'm like, it didn't work for me because I need those darker elements, or I don't know. I guess for me, as a fantasy and as an adventure book like it just was so predictable and cliche, like a romance or contemporary romance. So like I said, it wasn't a bad book. It just wasn't really, I think, for me. I think it was cute at moments and definitely had potential, but it just didn't really pan out the way I wanted. I can say it was a pretty fast read. You get through it pretty quickly. And there's definitely elements of it that I liked. But I do think I am landing at a 3. I don't think I could go any higher with it. I'm going to finish up my look though so that I can go through the rest of my Ipsy things that I got. I did really enjoy the eyeshadow formula though. It's just like every other Ace Beauty palette that I've tried. It's super pretty, pigmented. The mattes are stunning, blend so well, are so pigmented, and I love how creamy and buttery the metallics are. The mascara I want to keep trying out. I feel like it was kind of hard to build up. I might let it dry for a little bit and then maybe try to put another layer down. This is the look so far. I got to pop on a lip, and that will be the look. I am going to be reading Pretty Boys Are Poisonous by Megan Fox next. This is a book of poetry about her, I believe, current and past relationships. We're gonna see, but I know over the next couple of days it's gonna be really hectic and busy, so I'm hoping to just slip in a little bit of like poetry in my days. But yeah, I also am going to be picking up some more books from the library to read this week for Valentine's Day and week, and hopefully have some other Valentine's inspired things to work on as well. I've been seeing some like crochet projects that I kind of want to try my hand at. We'll see if I can fit it into my week, but yeah.
Burn me out like cuts, fade out when Centralia dust, nostrils off of dust, or like veins too many needles touch. If pain is beauty, I'm a pretty bitch. Gone too quiet, now they're whispering. If you blink, then you might miss it. Every hour is a week. I don't need sympathetics, I just need some room to breathe. Do not fucking talk to me, my genetics got me tweaked. Running from myself, I can't blame them when they leave.
Hello you guys, it's been a very busy day here, so today is going to be rather short vlog-wise. I'm currently getting ready once again, but I thought since this is the only downtime I really have right now, I would use it to inform you guys that I did in fact finish Pretty Boys Are Poisonous by Megan Fox. It's due, and I have to make a library run so I can pick up the rest of my books that I need for this week's TBR, so it's gotta happen because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Book of poems, it was just like heartbreaking. It's really hard to read. I feel like I was never really a big Megan Fox fan. I think it was mainly I just didn't really watch a lot of her stuff. The only one was Jennifer's Body, and I love Jennifer's Body. It's one of my, it's probably up there in my top movies. I love it so much, but that's literally off the top of my head the only, I think, Megan Fox movie that I really ever watched a lot and still watch. But if you've been on my channel, you know that I am a Machine Gun Kelly fan, and I listen to his music a lot, and especially during Tickets to My Downfall and Mainstream Sellout, and then me and James, we went to the Mainstream Sellout concert, you know, for that tour. I don't know where I'm going with this besides to say I've seen interviews where she has said that it's about multiple people that she's been with, but I feel like there is a bunch of very subtle but definite hints about who each one is about, and for the most part I feel like her relationships that were a little bit more public, like with MGK, are a little bit easier to pick up on which ones are about him, and yeah. A lot of trigger warnings with it. It may have not been the absolute best pick for a Valentine's vlog, but I liked the overall like vibes and aesthetic of the cover that I thought it would be perfect just to slot it into this vlog. And it was perfect because it is rather fast-paced. It's just a poetry book. So I knew I'd be able to fit it into my day-to-day because I procrastinated everything. Now we have to fit Valentine boxes, Valentines, and a night at the skating rink for one of the boys' schools for St. Jude's night, all in one night. So yeah. The boys this year for Valentine's Day, they have chosen, Roman's doing Rubik's Cube and Axel is doing Poppy's Playtime. So we're gonna do Huggy Wuggy. It's gonna be a long night, so I was excited to get through this book today and be able to check in with you guys on it. And if anything, I can't say there's so many of these that are so beautiful, and I feel like a lot of women who've maybe went through similar situations could really relate with her. I do think it'll be an emotional journey for you. Will probably trigger a lot of things. So I say that only in a way of if reading stuff like this is healing, then maybe check it out. Otherwise, I would probably steer clear from it or check your triggers first. I'm glad that I picked it up, and I think if anything, I said last year I really wanted to go back and start reading some of like the old poetry books that I loved when I was a teenager, and kind of just put it off. And I actually have another poetry book that a friend got me that I'm wanting to get to, and if anything, I think this really sparked that and making me want to pick up poetry books again. So yeah. I feel like this one's hard to rate because it is someone's personal account on things, even though it is in poetry form. So I don't know if I'm going to rate it just yet. Yeah, it's just really hard whenever it feels more like it's a nonfiction, because I mean it pretty much is. So it is really hard to rate this one. I feel like I would probably still give it a 5 because I do think it was really pretty, but it was tough to get through. So today I decided to do my Ipsy Glam Bag look. I have a palette, a lipstick, a little bit of skincare, and a setting spray to play with. So while I do my makeup, I thought I would tell you guys about the book that I read. Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. As the daughter of a rancher in 1840s Mexico, Nina knows a thing or two about monsters. Her home has long been threatened by tensions with Anglo settlers from the north. But something more sinister lurks near the ranch at night, something that drains men of their blood and leaves them for dead. Something that once attacked Nina 9 years ago. Believing Nina's dead, Nestor has been on the run from his grief ever since, moving from ranch to ranch, working as a vaquero. No amount of drink can dispel the night terrors of sharp teeth. No woman can erase his childhood sweetheart from his mind. When the United States invades Mexico in 1846, the two are brought abruptly together on the road to war. Nina, as a curandera, a healer, surviving to prove her worth to her father so that he does not marry her off to a stranger, and Nestor as a member of the auxiliary cavalry of ranchers and vaqueros. But the shock of their reunion, and Nina's rage at Nestor for seemingly abandoning her long ago, is quickly overshadowed by the appearance of a nightmare made flesh. And unless Nina and Nestor work through their past and face the future together, neither will survive to see the dawn. This is the look I went for today. It's very casual to an extent. It kind of turned a little more glam as I went, especially with the lip and how many shades of shadow I used, but I really wanted to give this palette a shot and really see how it works, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I feel like all the shades blended really, really well. And the metallic was really, really pretty. I am wondering how the wear time is. I've never tried this brand, so I'm excited to see how it does. But I'm always kind of like skeptical when trying a new eyeshadow formula because you just never know. But so far, I'm pleasantly surprised and I'm really liking the way that it looks. I ended up being a lot more yellow orangey than what I was hoping for. I really wanted to play with this yellow and the brown together, but then I was like, I kind of want to try one of the shimmers, and I just did a berry moment, so I was like, you know what, let's just do it. But this bronze shade really turned the look orange, but I still think it's pretty. I did pop a little bit of the mauve shade on my lower lash line just to play into the lip color. it is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And today I'm not doing much besides I have to go and show up to a kid's Valentine's Day party at school. So I'm probably going to wipe this all off before I even go, if I'm being honest. I'm also just not really having a great day. There's been many tears today, and I'm kind of like forcing myself to even participate in this vlog at this point. But I did want to check in with you guys because I wanted to do another one of my looks. I have one more to go. Tomorrow or Friday, I will definitely be using the icon box, so stay tuned in this video for that. But you guys, I read Vampires of El Norte. I'm already in my head, like, figuring out what books are my favorite from each month. And like last month, Slewfoot, I could be wrong. I need to go and back and double check that, but I'm pretty sure Slewfoot was my top favorite for January. But I'm like, I don't know if anything is gonna beat this for February. That I've read so far, and I've actually read like decent books, but like this was just like, oh my gosh, and so unexpected. Now my TBR has grown a little bit for this vlog since I left you guys. I picked up a couple more books from my library that I didn't think was going to arrive in time for this vlog, so I am extending it for the full week, which works out because I still wanted to use my icon box. But yeah, I've had this one. I've rechecked this book like 4 different times now, and I keep putting it off, and I'm just kicking myself for it now because this book is so good. I do have The Warm Hands of Ghost by Katherine Arden, which I've already started since I finished this one, and I don't know how I feel yet about this. I will have to let you guys know at some point. And then I'm also hoping to squeeze in Bride. It's finally here. I'm so excited. I've read every Allie Hazelwood book, so I don't know. This could go either direction for me. It could be really good because I do like vampire and werewolf books. So I'm like, it could really work. I like Allie Hazelwood's books, so them combined, I just hope it is a success. I have been seeing some really good reviews while not spoiling myself, but I am so excited to dive into this, and usually hers are pretty quick, so that's why I was like, let's do The Warm Hands of Ghosts, and then maybe this one, because I think I'll be able to wrap it up pretty quick for the vlog. Yeah, I could go either way, but I'm so excited. It's been one of my most anticipated reads for a very long time. But back to the one that I finished. You guys, when I tell you guys, I need to start making a list of like my top authors that I love just because of their writing style. Like, forget the story, forget the plot, literally just the way that they write and how mesmerizing it is. Because Isabel, and I hope I'm not pronouncing this wrong, I think it's Canas. Her writing is absolutely incredible. It is so beautiful, so immersive. Like, I was just in the story, and I'm literally just blown away by it. But I know you guys are also here for like the actual story, and from kind of what you get from the synopsis and what I can say without giving anything away with this book is there is in fact vampires in this book. Vampire monster aspect of this was just so cool. I didn't really know how it was going to play. I honestly wondered if it was going to be kind of like one of those books where, not to spoil anything, but like where they say vampires, or it's being advertised as a vampire book, but then when you read it, it's like, no, it's just like vampire tendencies, like a character drinks some blood, or, you know, it's just something like that where you're just a little let down because you're just like, ah, you could have went with it. You could have made this like a full-on vampire book, and that is what I'm here for. Obviously, like, I'm here for the blood this week. She really came through. This past year, I've read so many Mexican folklore, and I am just eating it up. I love it so much, and she did not disappoint with taking this story and making it historical fiction, but also with vampires. Like, my mind is still just blown after reading this. Loved getting not only a little bit of that historical vibe, which I'm coming to like more and more, which is normally not the case. I think it's working for me with being Mexican folklore. I just absolutely love it. I think it's so beautiful, and I just love learning things about the culture, but also their folklore, their stories, and just everything in between. And I really fell in love with this character, Nina, and I love how it's kind of like a coming of age at the same time, where we have Nina and Nestor together, and it's kind of like they're not supposed to be together. She is a very independent person, and I love that. We have a strong, independent, bold main character. It's a very known thing in their like village that her father is more than likely going to marry her off for something in return. So something that they can gain, because that's just how it was. And she's just not here for it. She's fallen for Nestor, the boy who she should not be with, as her family puts it, and they are sneaking off together, and then one night she gets attacked, and Nestor carries her back and ends up fleeing in the night, running away with his guilt, and only having to come back years later to face what went on that night, but also what they're currently going through with the war and also with these vampire monsters. What I will say is that this book I just automatically fell headfirst into because of the writing, but I stayed because I loved the way that she twisted this and made it horror. I loved the gory bits. I loved the vampire monster twist. I loved the characters. I loved Nina and I loved Nestor, and I absolutely loved the romance. And I feel like I don't pick up enough books that have horror elements and romance. I also feel like it's not like a very huge genre, so if you do know some that you really love, please let me know, because I ate this up and I loved it and I just want more. I want more horror and romance. Like, it was just so beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I loved that we had that sprinkle of romance through it, but it really was so plot and kind of like character driven as far as like their lives and where it led them to, but still having a little bit, feeling like romance was still a really big part of it. She just did a beautiful job balancing it all. 5 out of 5. Absolutely love this book, and I know she has another out that came out before this one. I will definitely be picking it up soon, and I'm hoping she'll have another one coming out this year, because she's had one I think in 2022, 2023, so hopefully we'll have more from her this year as well. I would love to do a 3 books. And while I was reading this book, I have been picking up knitting and crocheting again, but I'm kind of falling for crocheting, which I never thought that I would have. I used to just be a knitting girl. Like, I knitted blankets and hats and different things like that, but I have been picking up crocheting and I've been really enjoying it. So I wanted to kind of have like an easier project to work on for Valentine's Day, which could also be something that's easy, but also cute and something to help me relearn some stitches. So I made this adorable heart banner. It's kind of hard to tell, but they are individual hearts all the way along it. I do still need to iron it and get it hung. So hopefully in the maybe one of the next parts we'll have it hung up and stuff for the rest of this week. Kind of a last minute Valentine's Day like little decor moment. January 1918, Laura Ivan was a revered field nurse until she was wounded and discharged from the medical corps, leaving behind a brother still fighting in Flanders. Now home in Halifax, Canada, Laura receives word of Freddie's death in combat, along with his personal effects, but something doesn't make sense. Determined to uncover the truth, Laura returns to Belgium as a volunteer at a private hospital, where she soon hears whispers about haunted trenches and a strange hoteler whose wine gives soldiers the gift of oblivion. Could Freddie have escaped the battlefield only to fall prey to something or someone else? November 1917, Freddie Ivan awakens from an explosion to find himself trapped in an overturned pillbox with a wounded enemy soldier, a German by the name of Hans Winter. Against all odds, the two form an alliance and succeed in clawing their way out, unable to bear the thought of returning to the killing fields, especially on opposite sides. They take refuge with a mysterious man who seems to have the power to make the hellscape of the trenches disappear. As shells rain down on Flanders and ghosts move among those yet living, Laura's and Freddie's deepest traumas are reawakened. Now they must decide whether the world is worth salvaging or better left behind entirely. So a little check-in. I'm feeling rough. I'm a little nauseous today, but it's a chill day. I went very minimal today with everything because I'm just feeling so under the weather. I definitely have taken a turn and really hoping that I didn't catch anything the other night at the skating rink, because that's the only thing that's coming to my mind. Now, as I get more and more nauseous, I'm like, I probably caught something with all the kids and the place I was at and all of that, so fun. But I wanted to do a quick check-in for you guys because I did read my next book. This is The Warm Hands of Ghost, and I will probably already have the synopsis for you guys, but I went into this completely blind. I seen the cover of this book and it almost made my 24 and 24. I don't think it did, but I think it almost did because I was so obsessed with the cover of this. I thought it was so pretty, and the title itself really spoke to me. I thought it would be really cool. I was thinking it was going to be more of like a good Valentine's Day pick, but I went into this completely blind. I read the synopsis to you guys after finishing this. So I literally had no idea what I was getting into, and I swear I seen somebody on BookTube talk about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to read that. And I don't know what was said about it that made me be like, I want to read that, because this book has like not really my typical elements that I like to read. I will say I am in an extreme historical fiction era. I never thought that would be me. I've tried historical fiction in the past, and a lot of the time they just did not work out for me, or I didn't like certain elements, and here lately they've just been hidden. And I'm so excited about it. I'm absolutely loving it. I just talked to you guys about Vampires of El Norte, and I loved that one. I'm going to be reading some more as well, so I'm just really, really enjoying it right now. This one, though, was not really what I was expecting. I think for me, I need to do more of like horror historical fiction. I need to have some type of like strong plot and horror twist to it to really grab my attention and keep my attention. And if you want to mix in a little bit of romance, like Vampires of El Norte, perfect. But I feel like when it gets too real and it's, I like, just like Vampires of El Norte, kind of getting a little bit of, the story of Mexico and the war and stuff like that. Like, that was really cool. I liked that being included. Where the same with this one, this book took place during the Great War. It says a combat nurse searches for her brother, believed dead in the trenches despite eerie signs that suggest otherwise. So this is actually set in an actual war period, and I actually liked the concept of that. But I don't know, there was certain elements of this that just didn't really work for me. Sometimes I felt attached to the characters, or I liked certain characters, but then other times I was like, why would they do that? Or like, why? It just didn't really make sense, and I'm like, maybe the author is thinking, what would they have done back then? Okay, but some of it just did not work for me still. I can say I really liked a historical fiction set in a time that like, with events that actually happened, where we have this like these two enemy soldiers that kind of have a little bit of a relationship forming there, and kind of having a little bit of a queer approach to a story like this. I really enjoyed. I loved that. I did like those little relationship moments. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to them, though. I feel like it was a little bit too toned down. Like, I kind of wish, like, if you're gonna go in that direction, like, go in that direction, because it just would have been so cute. And I kind of wish it was a little bit more leveled. We kept jumping back and forth from brother to sister, where I don't know, I kind of just thought that there would be a little bit more romance in this that would make it more for Valentine's Day or Valentine's week for me, and there just really wasn't. Because it was like brother-sister, like, love when it really comes down to the core of the book, which was still sweet, but I do kind of wish I got a little bit more of the romance between the brother and the enemy soldier. I wish that I got a little bit more of that in the book. But I did like the haunting vibes, the talk of ghost. Also liked the fiddler, who is kind of like this entity person who, this strange tale that people are talking about. So it's kind of like, is he a real person? Is he not? Is it just these like made up tales? I enjoyed all of those aspects to it, but again, I kind of felt like they didn't reach far enough for me. Like, they should have done a little bit more, or it should have been explored a little bit more than what it was. I kind of felt like some things were kind of like the easy route, or other issues were like really talked about more or brought up more, and there was also some moments where it just didn't really make sense that we're focusing so much on this scene when we could be focusing on other things that really draw the story and keep, you know, those like haunting moments coming. I don't know. All in all, I have been very torn on if I'm landing on a 3 or a 4. I do think the writing was really pretty. I didn't love the characters, but I didn't hate them. I kind of just felt like I was like in the middle, watching their story unfold. Yeah, it definitely was not what I was expecting. A vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold the alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not within justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every move that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she has ever cared about. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers. And I have made it to the end of my week, and I've also completed my 5th book? I had The Pretty Boys Are Poisonous, Vampires of El Norte, The Wishing Game, The Warm Hands of Ghost, is that what it's called? And then Bride. This is one of my most anticipated reads for 2024. And I don't know if saying that is a good thing or not. It was quite the ride, let me tell you. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this, especially as especially Ali Hazelwood fans, because there's just something about her writing that is so cheesy but so good. And, you know, just being honest, it is a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. But there's a lot of romance that just really doesn't work for me. I think the connection I have with Ali as a person, I just think she's super cool and fun and nerdy cute in her own way. And I just love everything about it. And
of course, so Bride is the story of a vampire who is asked to marry a werewolf to sort of prevent a war between the vampire and the werewolves. And passion project for me, so I was just so happy that people got it and liked it, you know?
Oh, that's so exciting. Who was the first person you told when you found out that it was on the New York Times?
I was told by other people. I was told by someone, and I don't think I told anyone. Like my, I think Christina and Lauren told me, I think.
Really?
From Christina Lauren. Yeah, I think so. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. I don't know. There is something really cool about sharing your successes and your failures as well with people who are in this industry with you, but who are so like understanding and compassionate. So I love that. Yeah.
I love that.
So cool. Like you never, like as an author, you never know what the response is being for your book, unless I guess you read reviews, but I cannot do that. I am not strong enough. I like to pretend that like there is no review word out there, and so it's very you never know like how something is going to be received until it's out there, whether you know it's resonating with people, whether people are like it, whether people buy it, you know. So but it's so good to hear, because I actually I was doing a live with Indigo Books like a few years ago with a girl named Misha. I don't know if I don't know if she still works there, but like I named, like, she was like, okay, you have to name a character after me in your next book. And there's a character named Misha in the book after her.
No
And
way.
So it's just kind of full circle moment.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever want to use the name Caitlin, I will never say no.
I mean, now it's a tradition. Now it's a tradition. I must.
I love it. I love that for me. I have a very particular spelling, so I know if I see it in the book, I will know that you're calling to me.
I will make sure that it's the right spelling.
And I'm a sucker for her books. I can't help it. So when I found out she was writing a book with not only vampires but also werewolves, and it was like this love and sort of somewhat fantasy, I was like, sold. I cannot wait. In many ways, it was what I expected, but I also didn't expect a lot that went down in this. Like, for the most part, how much fantasy she put into it, which isn't a lot. I feel like there's fantasy as far as like talking about the werewolves or the vampires or like how they like navigate and stuff, but at the same time, there's still the human world. There's still like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it took me out of like the fantasy vibe a little bit, talking about like certain states in America and like, I don't know, like certain things like that. Her like going and living in the human world and, you know, things like that kind of took me out of the fantasy a little bit and made me feel more so like I was reading an Ali Hazelwood, but I kind of liked a little bit of that balance. But I think that's the only thing that's off for me, is I wish it was a little like more leveled than what it was. I stepped outside of her comfort zone with this one, I feel like, though, going from so many just like, you know, STEM science-based books into this. But I will tell you, if you've read Ali Hazelwood and you've loved her work and you're worried about this one, it's like you're reading an Ali Hazelwood book. You don't have to worry about that. It's very steamy. It's very spicy. Very spicy. It's probably one of her most spicy books I've read, and I've read all of her books. Yeah, I've read all of her books. This one is definitely more on the spicy side, and some of the spiciness I particularly feel like I didn't need. I did not need to ever know about nodding and what that is.
Open mouth kissing her on the neck and marking her, and I'm like, I'm marking myself unsafe from that interaction.
You are.
I was unsafe.
Correct. I do not go to church, and I need God.
Oh God! Oh my gosh! I love.
Do you go
Okay.
to church?
Okay.
Do you go to church? Do you go to church?
Yeah, Yeah, that wig I'm saying is a little unholy. It's a little unholy. Yeah, you're right. Touche, ma'am.
And yeah, I was giggling, I was blushing, I was cracking up at this, and sometimes I was cracking up in a cheesy, like, oh my god type of way, but I absolutely loved it and I gave it a 5. And you know, I've mentioned this to friends. I'm like, this isn't really like something I like necessarily like recommend to people just every day because it's so far away from like what I normally read, but it's a guilty pleasure, man. I feel like I will recommend this to anybody who's read an Allie Hazelwood and has loved Allie Hazelwood, but besides that, I probably wouldn't go into this if you are high fantasy looking for that vampire werewolf vibe and not all the steamy spiciness that goes into this one too. I'm just glad I got to it this week, and I had a really good reading week. Also, the star of the show, my heart banner. It's so cute. I love it. I'm kind of sad to take it down because Valentine's Day is over now, but it had to have a moment. Also, James got me this cute like book vase. I don't have flowers in it yet, but it's really cute. I'm gonna put it on the shelf somewhere. Hopefully put some flowers in it soon. But yeah, I really love how my banner turned out. It's so cute, and I'm just itching to cross stitch some more, so stay tuned. More projects are definitely going to be coming. Let me know if you read anything for Valentine's Day. Did you read any romance, smut maybe? Was it a bloody Valentine's Day week like it was for me? Because that's the majority of what I read. I definitely loved Vampire Isabel Norte and Bride so much. Those were my 2 winners for this week. Such good books. So I did my last Ipsy look with the icon box. Absolutely love how it turned out. The moisturizer was a little heavy. Very greasy. I love the liquid lip. I love the eyeliner from Gwen Stefani's brand. So good. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys had a good holiday, whether you're just hanging out with the girls or guys or whoever, or you're just hanging out with yourself, doing a little self-care, self-love. I hope that you had a good one. But thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you in my next video.
Leading in the dark, leading with these things.